Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to film a video. It's kind of like an update. Over a year ago, a little over a year ago now, I filmed a video about stopping weed for 30 days, giving up weed for 30 days. I gave myself a little challenge on a whim. And I filmed my journey. I'll link those videos. So many of us enjoy the ganja, enjoy getting blown. And for whatever those reasons are for you, I just want to shed some light on my journey and what I've really learned throughout this, because it's not like I was just smoking for a couple of years. No, this was like pretty much my entire adult life, from the time when I was 19 until my early 30s, you guys. And so I was smoking so often, it just became normal to me. It became part of my identity. And I thought it was going to be so hard to shift out of that because I was used to it for so long. It was very much my comfort zone. Whenever I was feeling low, I could turn to good old Mary Jane and she could boost me up. But what I want to talk to you guys about today is the real reason that you smoke weed. What I've learned, I want to share my insights, and if this helps you, make sure you subscribe to your channel. We talk about so much self-healing, self-love, transformation, spirituality, beauty, wellness, all those good things so that you can get to a place where you feel even better than that high that marijuana gives you. You can feel even better than that naturally. I've gotten to that point, and I want to share why you reach for weed and what happens when you decide to put it down. I'm going to keep it 100, and so let's get into it. I don't want to get too technical in this video, but what I do want to tell you is that we are vibrational beings. If you think about consciousness and the scale of consciousness, there are lower vibrations and then there are higher vibrations. Okay, so the lowest ones would be like fear, shame, guilt, and the higher ones would be like love, peace, joy, things like that. Okay, so the reason that I bring that up is because everything is on a vibration. Okay, you can see your vibration as like your mood, and so many times we are doing things and we're moving from our subconscious mind, and we don't know why we do the things we do. We just do it. And then once you get into a pattern, that's it. 95% of your life is you moving from your subconscious mind. And so if you are feeling deep down inside, you're not conscious of it, you're not aware of it, but somewhere inside you're feeling like just pain, shame, trauma, unresolved things, weed is a quick fix. Okay, so when you're feeling bad, you can reach for it and it will lift your vibration, okay? Because weed is at a certain vibration. Picture it as like in the middle of this triangle that I'm talking about, okay? There's the lower vibrations. Weed will bring you up. For example, if you're feeling just really good naturally, you're not on anything, you're just feeling like amazing, maybe something really good happened, maybe, whatever the case is, you're feeling bomb. You're in a high vibration. If you smoke weed in that moment, it's gonna literally bring your vibration down because everything's on a vibration. Weed is on that middle one. Look at it like that. If you're feeling super good and then you smoke, it's gonna bring you down. At the same time, if you're feeling down and you smoke, it's gonna bring you up. Okay, so I guess the biggest thing that I've learned is how to climb the scale without the weed. Being dependent on anything outside of yourself gets so exhausting. It costs you money, it costs your energy, it can cost relationships, it can cause problems and drama for you. I know me, for so many years when I was still living at home, I had to try to sneak around smoking because my mama wasn't with it, you know what I mean? Or like Sometimes some of my ex-boyfriends, they weren't with it. They're like, don't do that around me. They didn't like that I did it. And then in my head, I know that like, okay, smoking's not good for my body. Like, yes, this is a healing herb and there's different ways to do it, but I was smoking it out of papers, and before that, blunts. And so it's like, it literally says this causes cancer on the paper. Like, I could try to lie to myself and pretend that I didn't see those big old warnings on there, but I knew like, okay, this is hurting me. This is harmful for me. But obviously I felt so low vibrationally, you know, I knew weed would bring me up. And I thought that the only way to feel better was smoking. It was like a pattern. I stayed, and the thing is, you have to, when you don't know something, you just don't know. So it's not about getting mad at yourself or blaming yourself or hating yourself or anything like that. But that's why I wanted to make this video, just to spread some light on this issue that, okay, we're actually vibrational beings. There's so much hidden knowledge, you know, because we are not taught about our true nature for a lot of different reasons. But I'm just going to let you know that we are vibrational beings. Everything in life is on a frequency. Weed is on a certain frequency. If you're feeling low and you smoke, it will bring you up, but you're only going to stay there. You can't get any higher than that. And why should you depend on a substance to get you to that point when naturally you can get to that? You can feel better without it. The way that I came to realize these things is first of all, putting it down, being able to step away from it and be like, wait a minute, why don't I feel good in my natural state? Like, what is stopping me from that? The only way to discover that is to go within. For me, I used meditation because I never knew what that was, but I'm going to let you know that it's just about observing the thoughts that are crossing your mind. And a lot of times you realize like, these are some crazy thoughts. Like, I don't even think that's true. Like, well, what made me think of that? It's about doing inner work within yourself. You have an entire universe within you. You are an entire God out here, okay? You're creating your world. And so you need to pay attention to what is going on inside here, okay? Because it's going to tell you so much about yourself, and you have to be real with yourself. It's very hard to be real with yourself when you're high. And I'm just keeping it G with you guys, right? So it's like when you're high, you are glossing over so many feelings. Okay, you're getting all those fuzzy, fun, wonderful, luxurious feelings, but they're false. They're not real. They're temporary. They're gonna go away. You're gonna have to smoke again, you know? So that's not being real with yourself. Now, I'm not bashing marijuana because she is a beautiful herb. She is a beautiful healing tool. There's a time and place for everything. Since that last year that I gave it up, I have smoked here and there, you know, but again, it's about, for me, learning how to sustain happiness, learning how to feel even better than that weed made me feel. I don't want to have to depend on weed to make feel good. That's no way to live. Like, it's no way to live. You can feel even better than that naturally. We are designed this way. I look at my daughter, I see she's 5 years old. She doesn't need a substance. She doesn't need soda, sugar, any of that. She just needs air, proper sleep, you know, I guess the right foods. She just feels super happy. She feels lit. She's on fire for life. She's excited, she's smiley, and it's all natural, baby. She didn't have to take nothing for that. That is how we are all born into this life. And little by little, life hits us. Things happen and we forget that. And we get in our feelings. We start feeling like a victim that, oh, life has done this and that to me. Oh, now I need the weed. No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? Take your power back and understand that you don't need that, okay? There's nothing wrong with it, but once you start to abuse it, once you feel like you need something, okay, now it becomes a problem, because what happens when you don't have it? And also, it just ties you. Like, we are born to be free, you know? And so I just hope this message can empower you that when you decide to put it down, you can get to the root of why you're reaching for it. You know what I mean? And there are reasons that you're reaching for it, because for a long time since I did smoke, I would surround myself with other people who smoked. So I didn't really know that many people who didn't and lived a sober lifestyle. In my head, oh, that's boring. Oh, they're sober. No, it's not. They don't need it. They still feel happy. They feel peaceful. They feel good. They feel great. They just don't need it. And neither do you. Neither do I. Now, sometimes I'll notice when I'm thinking about it again, which is when I am stressed out. Okay, I'm a single parent, and whatever, life can get chaotic sometimes. I'll think to myself, oh, I want some of that. Why? Because my vibration has lowered and I'm, entertaining these negative thoughts. I will recognize this. When you learn meditation, which I highly recommend it for everybody, you will learn the art of observing your thoughts, and you're going to recognize, whoa, I'm not these thoughts. I'm not even my feelings. Like, I'm observing them. Like, it's deeper than you think. You're a soul and you're just in this body. Okay. You're not your body. You're not your hair. You're not your job. You're not how much money is in your bank account. You are a soul in this body. Okay. So when I think, dang, I want some weed because I'm gonna feel better, obviously that's a sign for me that I'm not feeling good at that moment, and that is okay. But the reason, what stops me from going to get it these days is understanding that, wait a minute, I have the power to raise my own vibration. I have that power. This feeling is temporary, like all feelings are. Emotions are energy in motion. So if I'm not feeling so good in that moment, 5 minutes later, I'm feeling a whole different way. You know what I mean? I allow that myself to feel like, oh, I'm stressed out right now. Like, oh, some weed would be nice right now. I allow myself to feel that way. I don't try to shame myself. I don't let myself feel guilty. I just observe that that's how I'm feeling. And then I keep on with my day. By nighttime or whatever, later on, I'm like, oh, I'm glad I didn't do that. That's 10 steps backwards. I don't need to do it. Again, it's not about bashing marijuana. I feel like it's a turn up. So if you want to do it, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you that you don't need it. That happiness, that sense of calm, that peace, that satisfaction that you feel when you're high, those feelings you're in search for, that marijuana soothes you in that moment. It meets that need for you in that moment, but then it goes away. That's why it's not sustainable. And yeah, you can keep smoking, numbing yourself. When I say numb, it's because it's like putting a blanket over how you really feel. You're not feeling good, right? So you put a blanket over it, and yeah, you feel better, and then back to reality. Then you're not high and you have to reach for it again, and then you don't feel good about that. You don't know. I've never met anybody, and I've met so many different types of people in life, people with so many different types of lifestyles, but nobody is just so proud to just be smoking 24/7. Yes, Wiz Khalifa will tell you that in his songs. He's an artist. He's an entertainer. It's his job to put on that facade. Yeah, weed feels good, but do you know that you can feel even better than that without it? So that's been my experience. It's so empowering and beautiful when you learn how to live life without that. When you are moving from your own energy and you learn how to feel good, calm, happy, enjoy life without that. And I've never been big on drinking because it doesn't taste good to me. But again, it kind of works the same way, where it's like somebody will reach for a drink because it's going to boost their mood. Okay, mood is vibration. Yeah, but it calibrates at a certain level, and then that's it. Obviously, you're naturally feeling lower than that. If liquor or if weed helps you to feel better, then that means naturally you're not feeling that great. And by the way, you can't get to those higher states of what you're really seeking. Very recently, I was just crying because when I would smoke weed so much, it was very suppressive for me. I was suppressing my feelings of how I really felt. Whether it was joy, I would never really feel it. If it was pain, I wouldn't it was like a numbing agent, right? So now that I don't smoke anymore, I cry so much more and I love it. Some people hate crying. They feel like it's a sad thing, but for me, I feel free. I feel like it's a release. I feel alive when I'm crying because it is okay. I've learned that it's okay to cry. And sometimes they're tears of sadness and sometimes, a lot of times, they're tears of joy. So recently I was praying, I was just contemplating my life and I was giving thanks to God and I was crying from tears of joy that, oh my gosh, look how far I've come from so many years living one way. And then with a few changes of my mind, some perseverance and some dedication to myself, moving from self-love, look how far I've come. My entire family lives one way. My old friends live one way. I live differently now. And it was hard at first to be like, I feel left out. Like, I feel like I'm not like everyone else. And sometimes I'd receive judgment. Oh, do you think you're so good now? Do you think you're better than us? Do you think you're so holy? These are things that I've heard from my own peoples, right? But I've come to the point now where it's just like, again, it's a vibration and consciousness thing. I've learned compassion. It's about compassion. If you feel like, if anybody feels like they need something to feel good, you just have to have compassion for yourself and for others to be like, dang, that sucks. Like, you don't have to live that way. So it's not about judging anybody or looking down on anybody. It's about choosing better for yourself because you can. And that's how you came into this life. So anything that has covered your true essence, any pain, any trauma, any bad things, icky feelings, you're able to clean it off. You're able to work through it. And I'm not saying it's easy, because when you do stop smoking, you're going to have to face yourself. You're going to have to face how you feel. You are going to have to face the things you've done, how you've been living, how you've been hurting yourself. And then you're going to start to heal. You allow space for healing, sober, in your natural state, how you just actually feel. You know, no more pushing it down. You just face it and you deal with it and you show yourself love and grace, and that brings in the healing. That's why I named this channel Healing Honey, you know? And so, yes, marijuana has healing properties as well, part of Mother Nature. It can be beautiful, but when you start to abuse it, when you start to rely on it, you don't want to rely on anything outside of yourself to bring you good feelings. You're able to bring those to yourself from within you. Okay? So I hope this helps you. Let me know your thoughts. You are so powerful. If you set your mind to quitting, you can do it. Thank you to everybody who's left me a comment, who's felt empowered through this message I'm putting out, because if I can do it after so many years, then of course you can do it. It's about having courage and not being afraid. And if you end up doing it again, it's not the end of the world. It's just about being aware of why are you reaching for it, you know? And if you do it, then you do it. But you don't have to live your life that way constantly. You don't have to. There are other ways. And when you feel those beautiful feelings from within yourself and you realize, whoa, you're sober, just like a little kid, but you feel so happy, so alive, just from within, you're going to give so much thanks to God. You're going to see the power of God in your life and your power within of what you've overcome. So there's so much lessons to be learned from it. There's so much to learn about yourself from it, your true strength, and that's it, you guys. I love you, and I'm sending you love. Bye.